Ready then for HMH Civil Supersport B, their second race of the weekend. And we can see there on pole position Stephen Degnan, the Darlington rider, on a Kawasaki. Alongside him on the front row, Ben Long, who's from Leeds on the Yamaha, and then Steve Hardy rounding out the front row on a Kawasaki. Behind them we have Paul Moir and Grant Aitchison, and then behind them on row 3, Sean Buckle, Michael Knorr and Arthur Gissing, as they are being lined up already. The clouds have rolled back in a little bit here. The sun's just disappeared for a few minutes, but hopefully we'll get that back at Oliver's Mount, because we want this track to continue drying out before we get to the feature race this afternoon. That is for sure. So they will get away on their formation lap. B group, obviously, as we were saying yesterday, a massive entry of Supersports here. 55, I think it was, on the entry list in total. So they've been split out into 2 groups. We've just had the first group in that last race, led by Mike Brown, Franco Bourne, etc. And then this is the other group.
Yeah, I was just checking out all the black visors, which I'm amazed by in these conditions. But anyway, that's the way it is. That's obviously rider's choice as to what visor you use. But yeah. I always preferred a clear visor in these conditions, so you could see exactly where all the damp patches are and where all the dry sections are, to be fair, as well. So, yeah.
In the opening encounter yesterday, Franco Bourne, who had trouble in qualifying, was slotted into the B group, so he dominated the race. He won by 40-odd seconds. Yeah. We saw he got moved into the A race and managed and finished second in that race just a few minutes ago, behind Mike Brown. So taking him out of the equation. Second place yesterday went to Steve Hardy, who is on the front row today, alongside Stephen Degnan, who was third yesterday, and Ben Long, who was fourth. Fifth for Adrian Hodson yesterday, and sixth for Adam Rayner, as these guys make their way down. Still, you can see the dampness on the track there.
You can, but it is a lot drier than it was, so it definitely, as you said earlier, it's drying out slowly, but at least it is drying.
Slowly the crowds are out. They're on the heads. The hats are on. That's making their way out through their formation lap. So we said Degnan, Long and Hardy across the front row. Then the second row, Moir and Aitchison. Row 3 will be Sean Buckle, Michael Knorr and Arthur Gissing. Row 4, Brad McMullen and Daniel Pearson. On row 5 we'll have Christian Slater, Christopher Stewart and Jordan Poole. Row 6 will be Stephen Ryan and Rad Hughes. Where he comes from. A winner yesterday was Justin Collins. We'll definitely watch him, see where he comes from on row 7. Andrew Coulter and Andrew Ripley alongside him, who both had a really good run as well in one of the races yesterday. Row 8 is Austin Webster and Max Ainscoe, and rounding out the entry, row 9, Russell Brook and Nicky Williams, as the guys do now come to the line. 43 there is our poleman Degnan.
I was just looking there to see who's been the bravest going for dry tyres, and I think there are dry tyres, proper dry tyres out there, so people must be confident that it's dry enough for that.
6 laps this one. As the rest of the grid forms up, we'll then see the marshals move to the back. The checkerball is okay.
Oh no, pole position there. He's on full. That's slicks, and then against full wets. So 76 there's on full wets. So is the third place man, but he's on full slicks, which I think is pretty brave.
Well, let's see how that plays out. 6 laps to go. Revs rise.
Oh, spun it off the line,
and then darted in towards Ben Long alongside him. As they make their way through this first corner, it is Ben Long, I think, maybe, who's made the break there from the middle of that front row after poleman Degnan just bogged it down off the line. The rest of them make their way up towards the SS4 the first time up through Sheen's Rise.
Now, on paper, the guys on wets will start off really, really strong, but as the race goes on, they will technically should fade back as their tyres fade, and the guys on the dry tyres should start off a little bit slower, but then build their speed up as the race goes on. So we need to just keep an eye on that.
Yeah, just keep an eye on it. 2 made a couple of lengths break here. It is probably Long, possibly from Hardy at the front, and then Degnan just dropping back a little bit into third. We'll get an idea. Keeping it very wide out.
Yeah,
somebody's had a go on the inside. Actually made that position work for them.
Yeah. just interesting to see just how much grip he's got on his full slicks. I think that's a really brave move, but anyway.
There's Ben Long, race leader,
yeah.
and then, as we thought, Steve Hardy in third. Oh, 2 down.
Yeah.
2 down. Both riders look to be okay, but obviously...
Moya, yeah.
Points down. Riders making their way off as the leaders make their way down into Mount Side for Ben Long.
And Hardy right behind him, and Degnan again, I think, in third there, right behind him.
Front row, just in a slightly reshuffled order off the
red
line.
flag.
Oh, we have a red flag due to that incident down into Drury's. It did look, thankfully, like the 2 riders concerned were moving about and okay, but obviously just a red flag. There will be some debris there that will need to be cleared up as well. So we will